everyone, and welcome back to the Mindful Minds and Chats channel. Today I have an exciting video for you guys today. I'm actually going to be ranking some of the collections that some of the bigger brands have released. I'll be going over Holo Taco, ILNP, Mooncat, and Cir Colors. I'm just going to be talking about what has come out this season and what has impressed us and what should have stayed in the drafts, to be honest. So anyway, I feel like we should just get started. We have 14 different collections to go through across 4 different brands. So I should mention that I'm going to be doing this in a tier ranking style. So if you're not familiar with this, it goes S through D, I believe, with S being the best and then D or F just being the worst. Obviously, this is just for fun, no hard feelings to any of these brands. I should mention as well that all of the pictures that I will be showing in this video of the collections come directly from the brand, either their websites or their social medias. And the Holo Taco collection I would talk about in this video, I did fortunately receive in PR as well, so just keep that in mind. Obviously, my opinions are my own, and I'll be very blunt and honest in this video. If you didn't see my last video, I believe it was the spring collections. This is going to be pretty much the same style as that one. So now let's get started for real. First up, I'll be talking about Holo Taco's Disco Cowboy collection. This one came out, I believe, in April of this year. It was for Holo Taco's royalty collection that they do every year. It's essentially, if you're not familiar, just a way to, I guess, honor their top tiers of their loyalty programs members and just giving those people a chance to kind of create a collection. Although I think there was some controversy this year because those members did not have as much say as they had in previous years. But nonetheless, honestly, I did like the collection because it was so sparkly. As you can see, the theme was Disco Cowboy, which I believe was very unique in the sense. I don't think I've ever really seen something exactly like that done before in the nail polish community, but I was so here for it. I really appreciated all the sparkles at the time, so I look fondly on that collection. Some people say it was gone too soon because it was like pulled from the website relatively quickly, which is a similar story for Holo Taco's most recent limited edition collection as well. So we'll get to that, but regardless, this one brought me a lot of joy at the time, and I look back on it fondly. Some of the standouts for me were Bless Your Heart. I really like that one, and of course Disco Inferno, just because that one was so fun. It's like a nice punchy orange frosted metal, which I definitely welcomed with open arms. And yeah, I mean, I really like the collection. I love how sparkly it was, and I feel like the theme was seen well in the polishes themselves. So I would rank this one in I would say either A or B, and I think I'm leaning more towards B just because I feel like it could have been even better, like a little bit more nuanced polishes. I feel like the polishes themselves were a little bit just basic and simple, still very exciting. Of course, like basic and simple things can still be amazing, but I think for, like the royalty release, it should have been a little bit more extravagant, a little bit more elevated. So for that reason, I'll give it a B. Next up, I want to talk about SirColors' Circ Us collection. This was 6 different shimmer graphic shades by SirColors, which if you're not familiar with is just SirColors' way of having really shimmery and really holographic like jelly-based polishes. So it was 6 of those polishes with a circus kind of ringleader theme to them. I love their shimmer graphic shades, so I was definitely happy to see more of them. Although honestly, I think that SirColors has leaned into them a little bit too much, just because I know that they went through all the trouble of like trademarking the shimmer graphic name. So I guess if you're gonna go through all that, then might as well like really make a lot of them. But I feel like I'm being like tired of them. They have released a lot of them this year, so yeah, they're starting to blend together just a little bit. The standout of the collection for me was Limelight. I think it was a really pretty shade, although I think it did look a little bit sheer, but the other polishes were really nice, really pretty. I feel like I did expect a little bit more. I think I would have liked it a little bit more as well if it was a mixed format collection. I am partial to those, if I'm being honest, but yeah, I'm not mad at it, so I'll give it a B as well. The next collection I want to talk about is another 6-piece collection. This one is by ILNP and it is their Illusions collection. I feel like everyone kind of lost their minds when this collection came out, but honestly, rightfully so. It was a very exciting collection for ILNP. I really liked the polishes in this collection, especially Alice. That was the one that stood out to me the most. It was the blue one with the yellow magnetic particles in it. I was really impressed by it, and I just liked the variation in all the polishes as well. They didn't exactly look like previous ILNP shades, especially their magnetics. And yeah, I think everyone agrees that ILNP's magnetic formula is really awesome, especially for only being, I think, $12.50. So yeah, no complaints at all from me. I love the theming around it. It's funny because it reminded me a lot of SirColors illusion themed magnetic launch that they had a few years ago as well. So it was kind of funny that they both had similar takes on it, but the polishes themselves look very different, of course. But yeah, I mean, I really like this collection. I think people were comparing it a lot to Cleona's magnetics. People were saying that ILNP was like trying to eat Cleona's nachos. So yeah, I could see that for sure, but it's all like in good fun, you know, not anything too serious. I don't think they're like trying to deceive their customers or anything. So yeah, I think ILNP did a great job with this collection and I'll give it an A. The next collection on my radar was Mooncat's Remedy collection. This one honestly shocked me so much. The hype for it was like unimaginable, just because I believe at the time Mooncat hadn't released a collection in like almost 3 months or something. So everyone was waiting and being like, where's Mooncat? Where's the next collection? What's going on? And they started teasing it and referencing the owner Michelle's Taiwanese culture, and they announced the collection, which was the Remedy collection. And wow, I mean, I was like speechless. I really was so impressed with it. I felt like it was so different from Mooncat as well. Usually, of course, they're very like dark and grungy, and like that's part of their aesthetic, and I'm totally here for that as well. But just this collection of like kind of dreamy, nostalgic like vibes was just perfect for the time. The polishes themselves, I don't have any of them, but they look absolutely stunning. My one critique of it would be that I wish there were more formula types in it. I believe there was only 3 different formulas with 9 different polishes. So they had some thermals, some shimmers, and some like more metallic-y kind of looking shades. But the ones that stood out to me were Ribbit Ribbit, which were like the pastel greeny shade with the blue shimmer in it. That one looked really pretty. I also really liked Dew Pearls in it. I feel like I have like similar things in my collection, but that one stood out to me as well as Jump Jump Bug. That one's just really fun thermal, and I know recently I had a video where I talked about how I'm not like super interested in thermals, but honestly, that's like on me. Like I don't like wearing thermals, but looking at thermals, super satisfying. Love that. But yeah, this Mooncat collection really like blew me away. I didn't buy any of them, like I said, but yeah, I was really impressed with it, and I feel like it marked kind of a new beginning for Mooncat in a way. I believe after this collection, they said something that hinted that they would be taking a slower approach to releasing collections. I believe it might have something to do with the owner Michelle's kind of step back from the company just a little bit. She wouldn't be as involved. I could be wrong on that, but I think I read something similar to that, and this collection was kind of the start of it. So yeah, I really liked learning even just a little bit about Taiwanese culture as well through the collection. I always love when I can learn new things, especially about different countries and cultures. So I definitely appreciate that aspect of it. They also hired like people to write music, I believe, for this collection to accompany it, and just the visuals of it were breathtaking. And I have very few critiques of this collection, and I think I'm gonna have to give it an S. Like, it was a very top tier collection, and I was very happy with it, you know, just for aesthetic reasons and just significance. I feel like it can't really get better than that, you know? The next collection I want to talk about is Holotaco's Pixel Perfect collection. This one released earlier this year as well, and honestly, I was obsessed with this collection from the moment I saw it. I mean, it was just so unbelievably sparkly and it was essentially just a rainbow collection. So I believe it was 7 polishes, all kind of a punchy pastel and just absolutely glitter bombs, which are one of my favorite and a lot of people's favorite formula from Hot Tacos. So to have a whole rainbow of polishes in that formula was absolutely stunning. I was so excited for this collection, and honestly, I still look back at that collection and I'm like, wow, that was like a peak collection for Hot Taco. If I'm not being like super obvious already, I'm giving it an S tier. I mean, it's probably more of like a personal preference thing, but I mean, I was just so obsessed with it, like the aesthetic of it and everything, like the whole cozy gaming and the names for the polishes, like everything I believe just came together so well. They had these square glitters in them that of course went perfectly with the whole pixel aspect of it, and I mean, I was just so obsessed with it. I love that collection. I love glitter bombs, I love pastels, I love the square glitters, I love the theme. I really don't know how else to say. Like, I loved this collection, and that's me being like totally biased. I can't help it. I was obsessed, you guys. I was obsessed. The next collection I want to talk about is SirColors Vice 2025 collection. If you're not aware, SirColors has a Vice collection every year where they release some new and some returning neon cream shades, and Vice season is like hype season. It's so fun. I love seeing what they come up with every year. This year though, I will say I was a little bit let down just because I felt like a lot of the shades were very pink leaning, and I don't have anything against the color pink, but it's just disappointing to see. I believe it was like 4 of the 7 shades leaned very pink, whether it was like oranges that leaned pink, just straight up pinks, or like purples that leaned pink. So I didn't love that aspect of it. I'm sure they made for like pretty gradients and stuff like that, but yeah, I wasn't fascinated by that. It didn't like make me want to, you know, buy more just because it was like, it felt like a lot of the same. I will say that Miami-Dade is the county I was born and raised in, so I really wanted to get that shade. Ultimately, I did not. Maybe I will in the future, maybe not, because I'm trying to be good and not buy a shade just because of the name. But yeah, I just had to mention that. So I did like the, you know, more Miami Beach kind of aspect of the collection as well. Like, I'm here for it, of course. Like, I love Miami, I love the 305s, so yeah. But yeah, I did not end up buying any of the polishes. Also, that whole controversy with the white neon, very interesting. I'm curious to know what like the data was on that. Like, did people actually go out and buy a white neon just because of glue under black light? Very curious about that. But yeah, overall, I was left a little bit unsatisfied with this collection, so I think I'm just gonna give it a D. Is that kind of harsh? I don't know. It wasn't horrible. It was just not what I was expecting, I guess. I don't know. It was just a little bit let down by it. So I guess, yeah, I'll just give it a D. These next 2 collections I'm going to talk about simultaneously because they released simultaneously. It is L&P's Heat Waves collection as well as their Sweet Escape collection. The Heat Waves collection was a release of 6 polishes that were like summery creams, and then the Sweet Escape collection was a release of 4 bright jelly shades from L&P. I mean, who doesn't want more jellies from L&P? Like, they are amazing. I want like all of them. Some of the polishes didn't make it on my wish list. Sour Apple was definitely one that I want to get my hands on, and even that white shade I think is really great for L&P to have. I don't see white jellies like super often, so yeah, I thought that collection was really cute for what it was. Everyone loves, you know, the jellies from L&P, so I'm happy they released more of them. I will give that collection a just because I wish that there was more of them. Maybe even just a 5-piece collection would have made me happier, but I was still really happy with the 4 polishes that I released in that mini collection. For the Heat Waves collection, I was not as impressed with them just because they were very warm toned, and I don't personally gravitate towards warm toned creams, and they just felt kind of I don't know, kind of different, not exactly like what I was hoping for, like in the middle of summer. They felt more muted, but I would give that one a C actually, just because, I don't know, it didn't hit the spot as much as the other ones, and it's nothing against, you know, them just being creams, anything like that. Like, I do love a nice cream collection. I just felt like the colors could have been a bit punchier, but regardless, I'm happy that they're expanding their cream collection as well. Next, I want to talk about Holo Taco's Bon Voyage collection. This one was their anniversary collection. I believe it was their 6-year anniversary, so it was very exciting time. Honestly, I will say that I loved the box that they came with. Like, it was just, I'm just obsessed with it. Like, I truly think it's like one of the best boxes they've ever done. So all the hype for the collection was amazing. Really got into it. The color story I find very, very interesting, and like the mix of formulas also very interesting. I feel like they didn't complement each other super well, so that was a little bit interesting. And you know, even after I watched the stream, I still felt like I was wanting a little bit more like explanation as to that specific color story. I don't know, it just felt like a little bit unsatisfied. I mean, I was still very happy with the collection in general. I think individually the polishes are amazing, and you know, they had great formulas and everything. So yeah, I just thought it was very interesting as well that they gave Magnetic Taco, which is just a clear magnetic topper, to be placed in a limited edition release, because I would think that would be something they might want to keep around. Also, the same goes for Icon on Board, which was that hot pink jelly that I feel like everyone has been asking for a long time. But yeah, it was definitely interesting, and I don't know, I would give this one a B, just because I felt like the color story could have been more cohesive, and I don't know, it just left me wanting a little bit more. Maybe, yeah, just more cohesion, whether it's like with the formulas or the color story in general. I just felt like it could have been organized a little bit better. And then of course people were upset that the collection left so soon. I think it was almost like prematurely pulled. That's kind of just hearsay though, no one really knows. But yeah, she did say, Christine, the owner of Holo Taco, that it will be brought back in December for the vault. So if you did like the collection and you missed out on it, it seems like you will have a chance to buy it again if it's something you were interested in. But yeah, so definitely have mixed feelings on this collection. I love the theme for it, like for sure. I love the whole travel theme, and I liked the box a lot. But yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable giving this one a B in my opinion. The next collection I want to talk about is Cir Colors Midsummer collection. This was a 6-piece collection with different magnetics that all basically had the same magnetic pigment. It was like a silver magnetic pigment and like a jelly base in it. It was kind of similar color story to past collections, like punchy pastels with like that jelly base. Honestly, similarly, I was left feeling a little bit unsatisfied with this collection. I just felt like it was missing something. The color story was fine, but I'm just, I guess personally not a fan of just that silver magnetic with the very like subtly tinted jelly bases. I think it would have been really cool if they had like holographic sparkle in it, or even like flakies or something like that. Yeah, but I really like the theming around it. I think the color story kind of matched the theme a lot, and it was still a pretty cool collection. I didn't end up buying any from it, and I feel like I barely even heard anything of this collection. Like, it made no noise in the community, and yeah, it was pretty. Like, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It was cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this one, I'm between like a C and like a B. I want to give it like a B minus, but I'm gonna give it a C actually. Just, I don't know, I feel like you just needed a little bit something else to make it way better, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll give it a C. The next collection I'll chat a little bit about is Isle NP's After the Rain collection. This one just came out like a couple weeks ago. It seems to be more of a transitional collection. I know IMP usually does that. They do like a transition from like spring to summer collection and a transition to summer to fall. And I guess this time they had those creme and jelly drops in between as well. But yeah, I would say that this collection reminded me of a lot of their previous collections. I mean, I believe maybe it was last year they had a collection that had a very similar theme to it, kind of that whole rainy days kind of a theme. So that surprised me that they would do another collection with such a similar theme. And I believe they had the same formula in it as well, which was like jelly bases with like small iridescent flakes in it. This one was another 6-piece collection as well. Yeah, definitely good for a summer to fall transition. Personally, I'm just not a fan of that formula that they have, so unfortunately I feel like the only word that kind of comes to mind when I think about this collection is just boring. Maybe I'm boring for thinking that this collection is boring. I don't know. If you are a diehard for this collection, let me know. Sound off in the comments. But personally, just not my style at all. I did like drizzle in the collection. It was dark blue polish. I thought that one was really pretty. But yeah, just not super impressed or wowed by this collection, unfortunately. I do like want to love it, but I just don't. So I think I'm going to give this one a D as well. Following that up, I want to chat about Mooncat's newest collection. It is Welcome to Paradise. I will say I really like the collection theme. It's kind of like cyberpunk-esque. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the anime that has the same name, Cyberpunk. Anyway, so I really like the theming for this collection, and it was a 10-piece collection with a lot of different formula types in it. They actually released a brand new formula for them. It was kind of, I think they described it as a holographic and metallic hybrid. So I think, of course, that was a perfect collection to introduce that formula into. And some of the shades that stood out to me in this collection were Moral Decay and Night Mode. I think they were very interesting polishes. My critique for this collection is that a lot of the polishes did not feel especially unique, in the sense that I feel like other brands have released very similar polishes in the past before. So I wasn't necessarily wowed by any of the polishes, but I think they made an absolutely amazing collection. The color story, the theming, everything came together very beautifully. The names of the polishes in this collection as well, I thought were like so funny. And yeah, I think Mooncat, you know, has been taking their time with their collections, and so far it seems like it's working, at least for me. I really liked the last 2 collections they put out since they started doing that. So yeah, I think I'm going to put this one in A tier. I think they did a great job with it. Honestly, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but I think the polishes look super cool, super badass, and I'm happy that they're taking this slower approach to releasing collections as well. Next, I want to talk about SirColors' most recent collection. It was essentially a collaboration between 3 different nail creators, all of which are like super amazing and integral parts of this community. So I was really happy for them, and it seems like each of them made or collaborated with SirColors to make 2 different shades, which was really cool. I really like that they, you know, could make more than just one, and all the shades came out so different, and I feel like represented the creators very well. I will say that I am partial to Tyler's 2 polishes, of course, because they are shimmergraphic, which I mentioned earlier I really like. I especially liked his like more purpley periwinkle shade. I thought that one was super beautiful. I know it wasn't necessarily supposed to be cohesive or anything, so I won't really talk about that. But yeah, I think all the creators did a great job in general with their creativity. Was so cool, so I'll give them all an A. I was really impressed by them. Last but not least, I want to talk about Holo Taco's brand new camping collection. I just did my collection review for this video like not that long ago. It's still pretty fresh in my memory. This collection I thought was super cool. It was pretty cohesive. I liked the theme. It was kind of like summer camp, but like in the dark, you know what I mean? So I thought it was super cool. The names for this collection were amazing. I like that they also released like, you know, the s'mores nail pen at the same time, and just made everything come together really well. I would say my favorite for this collection was the stop button, which was the green like micro metallic shade. I thought that was super cool. The Shooting Star Taco was also a great addition to this collection. It just really like amps up the theme even more. So props to Taco for making such a cohesive collection, which was great to see after the Bon Voyage collection, because I'm like, guys, are we losing the plot? What's going on? But yeah, the camping collection I think was just absolutely amazing, and I look back very fondly on that collection. I know it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was for some reason. So yeah, really happy with that collection. I'm gonna give this one an A as well. Alrighty, that was like 14 different collections, so that was a lot. Let me know what you guys think. Was I totally off on some of these? Were some of these your favorites and I gave them very low grades? Let me know down below. I'm happy to chat about the collections. I thought all of them in general were pretty good. Nothing like too crazy bad or anything like that. Yeah, just personal preferences again. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you agree. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.